Hi there, everybody. Chazra here. Long time no see. I'm going to get to the subject very quickly because there's a lot to deal with. I am going to try and draw together the threads of Aion, Carl Jung's book Aion, and the territory it ventures into with Christianity and apparently the mortal enemy of Christianity in the woke and in Christian circles, which is evolutionary biology. Absolutely astonishing. The left wing and the right wing are like mirror images of each other. And of course, I'm talking about the radicalized people because, let's face it, the centrists have all either quietly slunk out of the room, or are staying very quiet because Lord knows if you say anything, hell rains down on you. So the center cannot hold and things must fall apart, either by design or because humanity has got a sort of built-in hayflick limit where every couple of generations the urge to purge becomes very strong and they go on a purifying ritual where they rip out anybody who isn't like them. And that means religiously, ideologically, race, whatever excuse, that there is some way of putting evil into the other and assuming goodness for yourself, which is absolutely astonishing, especially in Christianity, where we're so big on original sin and all of that. So I want to actually deal with the insanity in the scientific community in a separate podcast. And in this one, I want to deal specifically with the insanity of what's left, a tiny minority, let's be fair, of Christians, comprising of some reasonable people, some lefty woke crazy people trying to reform religion and, create another version of reality, and those crazy witch-burning Salem trial, I can smell the kindling from here, people who have decided that they themselves they know everything. They know absolutely everything about, who's going where and who's doing what, and what is the only belief system, and so on. So to be clear, I am speaking only about Christianity, tending to focus on Catholicism. I'm not speaking about any other religion, not any of the other Abrahamic religions. Most certainly, what I have to say is very Christian specific. So, yeah, we've got these dwell on the Christian fringe group for a moment. And Christianity is under extreme attack. The answer may lie in places where people do not want to look. And what I know is when people do not want to look somewhere, it is because they are afraid. And if they are afraid, it's because they are unsure. And so I look at Jordan Peterson between a rock and a hard place, between these two crazy groups of people who both hate him for the same enthusiasm. They would both get the hammer and nails in a nanosecond, given the chance, because they themselves are so much more virtuous. That they have to condemn everybody else. That's actually their shtick, is the way they get by is not by elevating themselves, but completely by condemning everybody else. Astonishing. So the other side, which is, you mention God and you have committed heresy in the Church of Science and the Church of Statism, where the perpetually adolescent pseudo people who live in virtual reality and have never really been in the real world because their parents have completely protected them and cushioned them from every single blow in life, so they don't even know that rear end is touching the seat anymore. Everything is so cushioned and comfortable around them. And so they are naturally searching for their limits and finding none, and really begging for the state to come in as the parental authority. And that has become the de facto religion, because if there's one thing that's become very clear, and you can see this from the talks, even, talking about reasonable atheists like Brett Weinstein and his wife Heather Heim, what they say is they can see the evolutionary need for religion, or where religion fits in it. At this point, we have hysterical Christians going, evolution, 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 that's like the devil, devil, devil. And Lord, I know quite something about this, because I have a Jehovah's Witness who has been in the family for a number of decades, trying to convert every single person at every single opportunity. And didn't that educate me about biblical things? But anyway, yeah, so they cannot stray out of the confines of their beliefs, because, let me put it to you this way. I don't walk around telling people the sun is going to rise tomorrow. Believe the sun is going to, I promise you it's going to rise. Everybody knows the sun is going to rise tomorrow. I know the sun is going to rise tomorrow. Why would I say such a thing? So when you repetitively and continuously repeat, too many words, the same kind, whatever that's called, when you keep on harping on the same subject like this, belief and your dogma, it means you're unsure of yourself. And that would be very clear from the woke left. Of course they're unsure of themselves. Nobody can really truly believe that Jack put on a dress and called himself Jackie a minute later and is now a woman. Nobody believes that, not in their soul. So they have to force everybody around them to believe it, because there's no other way. And then they're in a state of perpetual unease, because living with a lie, and you see this in countries that have been propagandized, living with a lie eats at you. It is like a cancer on the soul. And so eventually it will demoralize you in yet another way. And when I use the word demoralized, I'm also referring to what Yuri Bezmenov said in his lectures, and I think he was already saying this in 1983 and 84. He was saying that the West was already fully demoralized by those times. And what he meant by that was morals had been removed from them in a very specific policy, which was to get the population unhinged from their moorings, which is family unit, church, community, and pack them off into the control of the statists. And you will note that these people have nowhere to go except the state. So they're extremely state dependent. It is a religion for them. It's a cult. It is the biggest cult since a very long time, biggest cult the world has ever seen. And so we are dealing with religious zealots on both sides. And Christianity doesn't sugarcoat the zealotry any more than wokeism does.